Le beurre, ça vient d'un arbre. Mais non, ça vient de la crème de la vache. Mais non! Oui, oui.
Oh, a butter tree. What a great idea.
That's a great idea indeed. However, our butter does come from the cream of a cow.
So today, we're not going to do it the old-time way. We're going to try to make butter the modern way, I guess we would say. I start the mixer on a lower speed until the cream thickens a bit, and then I increase the speed a little. I scrape the bowl to make sure the cream is evenly whipped. I want the solid of the butter to separate from the buttermilk. You know it's ready when it makes a mess. What I want is solid butter and a liquid that looks like water. Next, I remove the butter from the whisk and drain the buttermilk out of the butter. I do it with only a handful at a time to make sure I remove all the liquid from the butter as possible. Then I must rinse each piece of butter in cold water to make sure no buttermilk remains because it would cause the butter to go bad quickly. Finally, I got to squeeze all the water out of the butter by pressing and kneading each handful one at a time. At Grandma's Bakery, we do regular salted butter, so I add the salt at this stage. Mix and knead it in to make sure it's well incorporated. Once ready, it's time to put the butter in the containers. I try to pack it as much as I can because if air gets in between, it causes bacteria.
She's good.
Once I see there's no air bubbles in the bottom of the container, I can fill it up to the rim, pressing it again and again to push out any air.
That's number one.
The last step is to clean the rim, put the lid on, and the logo of Grandma's Bakery.
There's the finished product.